Welcome to Aya, and welcome to Aya Golden Energy Healing. So in this lesson, we're going to talk about how to program golden energy into healing energy through the intention process. If you remember, in a previous lesson, we discussed the process of intention healing. We actually also discussed non-intention healing as well, didn't we? You know, when your higher mind can sometimes send its own healing energy at the same time as the lower mind. Well, we also said that it's very important to always go through the motions of sending it the intention healing way, because very often your higher mind won't send its own healing energy. As we said before, there are some exceptions to that rule, but that's for another course. So now we're going to build on that last lesson and teach you the methods we use to program the energy through the intention process of the lower mind. So we need to add layers of programming to the golden energy, and we do it through intention. What does that mean? Well, intention is a thought process in the mind, always. Any intention that you form to do anything at all is always a thought. So adding layers of programming through intention is very easy. You just have to use your conscious mind and different types of thoughts. For example, a visualization in your mind's eye is a type of thought. Visualizations are one of the best ways of adding programming to the golden energy. It's not the only way though. So let's first simplify down these layers of programming. If you think about it, the programming is just a set of instructions for the energy. It needs to know where to go and what to do. So what do we need to know about the healing action we want the energy to perform? Well, we need to know what the healing job is in detail. Is it reducing pain? Is it healing an open wound? Is it healing a broken ankle? Is it reducing the size of a tumor? Is it reducing inflammation? Is it trying to reduce a kidney stone? You need to know what the purpose is, and you need to understand the processes in the body that you want it to affect. Next, fairly obviously, you need to know where to send the healing energy. Is it in your ankle? Is it in your head? Is it in your liver? The more specific you are, the better the programming. You know, it is actually possible to send nondescript healing energy to yourself or someone else, but it gets so much better if you know the problem that you're trying to fix in detail. You also need to know the route that the healing energy has to take to get to the place of healing. Now that's quite easy in your own body because you can just move the energy around your body like we've taught you in the last video. But it gets more complex when you're transferring it to someone else. So with all this information, we can now build some visualizations that will program the energy. Eventually, you have to perform these visualizations while you're doing the healing session. But for now, let's just practice so you can get the hang of it. So try this exercise. Let's start with a broken bone. Pretend you've broken your arm. You've been to the hospital and you've got a cast on your arm and they've given you 6 weeks before it comes off, and then maybe some physio afterwards to help it get back to normal. Let's pretend the break is in the middle of the forearm and you know which bone it is. It's on the radius, which is on the top side of your arm, just about there. So now we prepare a visualization. This has to be done before the healing session, so you know exactly what you're doing when you actually do it for real with the healing energy. So think about what actually happens in the healing processes in your arm. Remember, energy healing activates and enhances the natural healing mechanisms of the body. So try and visualize the fracture in the radius. Try and actually see it. Visualize the two sides of the fracture starting to knit together. You can see the bone actually growing over the fracture and blending the two halves of the fracture together. You actually see the bone healing over, and you will it to go faster in your visualization. And there's also other parts of the injury to heal. There's damage to the muscle tissue and the surrounding connective tissues. So you also visualize the regeneration of cells. You visualize those muscle cells dividing furiously and the blood vessels starting to grow back and the new tissue takes form. Now it's up to you how far you go with that visualization in terms of detail, but the more detailed it is, the better the results will be. And by the way, it really helps to research the biology of it online so you can get an accurate picture of what's going on in the body as you're healing, just for the visualization planning. So that's programming the golden energy into healing energy using a visualization. Now the thing is that some people don't respond well to visualizations. That's normal. Everyone's different. So if visualizations are not really your thing, you can use a mantra instead. A mantra is a repeated word or phrase in the mind. In this case, it'll be quite a long phrase because you've got to cover the healing process in the sentence that you're repeating. All you're doing here is taking the information that you were using in the visualization and speaking it instead. It's just as good for the programming of the energy. It's still an intention in the mind. It's the same thing really. So you just prepare a sentence before the healing sessions that you're going to repeat during the healing session. Using the same example of a broken arm, it could be something like this. Go to the fracture in my left arm, help the two sides of the bone knit together, increase the speed of healing, encourage the muscle and connective tissue and blood vessels to regrow quickly. You can even go further and say, increase blood flow and nutrients to the area. It's really up to you how far you go. Now you can sometimes split these instructions up into separate mantras and then repeat them in turn on different breathing cycles. You know, sometimes you might even want to write them down and read them while you're doing it in a healing session. Or depending on the situation, you might want to memorize them instead. Don't forget, you can speak them out loud or you can just say it in your mind. So that's programming golden energy using visualizations and mantras. There are some more advanced methods of programming, like using different colors as bases for the healing energy, but we'll teach them in a more advanced course. Now, in the coming lessons, we'll show you a full self-energy healing exercise where we'll put all these different parts that you've been learning all together, all in the right place. Make sure you follow or subscribe for the rest of the video lessons. See you soon.